Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got a chemtrailer flying over. That's the first one today. We haven't had a chemtrail all day today. Now we got another one over there just above the trees, straight up over that second telephone pole away from me. So we got two of them out here, y'all. They're both flying out of Georgia direction. Alright, his is starting to disappear a little bit, and he doesn't have a big long one. It's starting to disappear too. I guess they're going out here looking for moisture. There is a little bit of moisture because it's not immediately disappearing. If it collects moisture, it'll stay there and make a big line across the sky. So they're not collecting anything, they're out hunting for it. Alright, thank you. Got top of the hill. How you doing? What are you doing, running the camera down to it?
Yes, sir.
I hear you.
Hey, you got it.
Well, you got a big turd in there, wedged up in there?
It's a rock. It's a rock. But he got it. I'm trying to see.
Well, you got some cool stuff here.
I appreciate you, man.
Alright. Where are you out of?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, wow. Welcome to Abbeville.
Yeah, we've been here before, like last year.
Yeah, I've seen them working here, but I've never seen y'all working here. I watched them clean them out last year, yeah. Alright, I'll see y'all. Thank you. The horse water fountain, or the animal water fountain in Abbeville, this was set up for horses, dogs, and cats. And here's a sign about it. Hopefully y'all can read it. Installed in 1912. But they were spreading diseases around, so they got rid of them. Nothing on the back, y'all. Alright, there it is. And that's the courthouse. And that's the Abbeville Opera House. That's famous too. Alright, thank y'all. Welcome. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're out in the bamboo forest. This is the size of my hand. Look at this root system. Keeps on going, but the tree's still here. Tree's still growing and the root's still growing. What type of tree would that be? A hickory? Shagbark hickory? And look at the size of the bamboo out here, y'all. This is way too big to build. And I bet this bamboo orchard is, or whatever this is, grove, is probably over 100 years old. I've been coming out here since I was a kid, and I know my grandma and my granddaddy was doing that too. There's a graveyard down off in that direction. There's a trail up through there to get to the graveyard from the church at the top of the hill. There's houses next door, but this big lot is empty, and it's actually, they say they got for sale signs up, so whoever owns it is now finally selling it. And there used to be a house here when I was a kid. I can't see nothing of it. We're in Abbeville, y'all. A lot of stuff out here. A lot of interesting stuff, a lot of history. I've been to the graveyard. I got a previous video on that. Alright, thank y'all. Look at those clouds over there. They're blowing out of the west, blowing east. But you look over there, that one's just starting to blow north. If you look at those clouds there, you see them blowing north. So just going past me, and they're hitting a stream coming out of Georgia direction that blows them north. Now, I would say that this was normal weather. You know, it's just wind blowing it around, but this happens every day. It always comes out of the west, coming straight east, and then it comes over here just past me and starts blowing north. Look, so those clouds just blew across in front of me. Now they're blowing up my left side, which is looking east. Going straight east, going up, I mean not east, I'm looking east. They're blowing from the west to the east, now they're blowing from the south to the north. Alright, I'll get it figured out. I got an old brain here. So I would say this is weather modifications at work. See those clouds over there? They're still blowing to the east. All these clouds, they're still blowing out of the west, they blow east. They get right over there, and they get hooked up, and they're being pushed north, and I assume they're using these radar satellite antennas to do it with, because I know they got the technology to do that now. It was announced to Congress years ago, back in the 70s or 80s. Let's see, yeah, I think it was the 80s, when they brought HARP online in Alaska. That's the technology they use to blow these storms around. They blow the jet stream off of Canada, and it comes down over, they push it down where it comes out of the Pacific Ocean, comes across Los Angeles, and that's why Los Angeles had snow 3 years ago. And then it had the 7 tornadoes in Texas, you know, that same violent cold weather. But anyway, they bring it across us, they chemtrail it, so they collect up all the moisture so it rains out. And when this air goes back out off the United States, I mean, it floats up over Washington. They chemtrail it all the way up to North Carolina and Virginia. And the people in Washington don't even see it, but it's one big chemtrail cloud raining on them. Alright. We got ignorant people everywhere. Stay smart, seek wisdom, obey God. Thank y'all. Alright, raining today. Chemtrail rain. Those aren't storm clouds up there. Those blankets of chemtrails. Been spread over Abbeville. Coming up out of Georgia, Alabama, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mississippi. They spray all the way over there, and it comes up on South Carolina and starts raining. They keep chemtrailing this, make it rain so the atmosphere dries out. Alright, thank y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we got two up there. One's going across the big thick part. You see them coming out on top. One going across underneath. They're not leaving much streams. And we'll have another one poking out here in a little bit, so they want to get 3 airplanes going across the same place. You can see a little smidgen over here of the tail where he went in, and then he came out, but he hasn't left anything. He hasn't made it out yet, and these two just flew across in front of him. So I'll get him when he comes out. I haven't seen him yet. Alright, thank y'all. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're out in the bamboo forest. This is the size of my hand. Look at this root system. Keeps on going, but the tree's still here. Tree's still growing and the root's still growing. What type of tree would that be? A hickory? Shagbark hickory? And look at the size of the bamboo out here, y'all. This is way too big to build. And I bet this bamboo orchard is, or whatever this is, grove, is probably over 100 years old. I've been coming out here since I was a kid, and I know my grandma and my granddaddy were doing that too. There's a graveyard down off in that direction. There's a trail up through there to get to the graveyard from the church at the top of the hill. There's houses next door, but this big lot is empty, and it's actually, they say they got for sale signs up, so whoever owns it is now finally selling it. And there used to be a house here when I was a kid. I can't see nothing of it. We're in Abbeville, y'all. A lot of stuff out here. A lot of interesting stuff, a lot of history. I've been to the graveyard. I got a previous video on that. Alright, thank y'all. Alright, my airplane that was flying in over there finally came out. And he's across, he's got two airplanes crossing him. We got this one up here going over the top of us. Looks like we got two trails coming out, all going into one big cloudy trail. Alright. They're filling this up today. All this is coming out of Georgia, y'all. Blowing in from Georgia. Georgia's in that direction. It goes all the way south of us. The southern and western side of the United States it's a line that goes diagonally like this way across to Savannah. Alright, thank y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, no chemtrails in the sky today. We've had 2 days worth. They've been blowing through and going up to North Carolina, so even North Carolina, Virginia's going to get the rain. It won't be us. It's a beautiful blue day in Abbeville. No clouds whatsoever. And I'm with my buddy Kurt.
Hello.
Who dropped something. He said hello, y'all.
Hello.
Alright. Thank y'all.